the stage for his remarks. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Wayne. So my big takeaway is to show up. So I'll keep showing up, and I thank you all for showing up, and I want to make it worth your while. And I'll just highlight a couple of points. Some of you did have to sit through my fireside chat, but let me just hit a few things there. I think the first is just to get across the scale of ambition in Canada right now. We intend over the course. The course of food security. We mentioned food security. Ken Seitz is your one-stop shop for food security with Nutrien globally, and that's actually not an exaggeration. It happens to be true. There you go. First boast of the evening. Secondly, it's enormous food. I'm just warming up for my American level of boasting. We are going to double our non-U.S. exports over the course of the next 10 years. We think we can do it in a much shorter period of time. That's $300 billion of additional exports. Most of that is going to come from Asia, in our view, and I'll justify that in a second. But on top of this, and I just underscore this because this is a two-way relationship, our expectation coming out of the budget is that we're laying out a path for at least $500 billion of additional investment in Canada in the next 5 years. Additional, not total, additional. And that's U.S. So these are orders of magnitude that start to be relevant. Areas, both in terms of the two-way trade and the domestic investment. We're basically going to build out the infrastructure to help drive energy corridors, both clean and conventional, trade corridors, new port infrastructure, and others. But from LNG, where we're putting ourselves on a path to at least 50 million tons by the end of this decade, but double that by 2040, potentially more. It's easily done when you have the fourth largest reserves of LNG in the world, and you have demand here for the energy transition. To nuclear, a few days ago, I launched with my good friend, Premier Ford. Did I say good friend, Premier Ford? I said the always entertaining, the always interesting, the always unpredictable Premier Ford. Yeah, God, sorry, I don't know why I mixed the two up, President and Premier Ford. Is that on, by the way? No. We launched, in all seriousness, the first commercial SMR. So this is not a pilot, it's 300 megawatt SMR, which we're building out 1.2, ultimately 1.2 gigawatts of SMR over the course of the next several years. 80% of the supply chain for that is in Canada. Okay, so this is basically, it's Canadian technology, Canadian supply chain that we're gonna drag through, and ultimately, obviously, an opportunity here. Critical minerals, I won't belabor it, but we are one of the biggest deposits. We are the biggest financier of mining in the world. Okay, full stop. So the ecosystem is there and can reach out. And when it comes to finance, whether it's Sun Life, there you go. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Sun Life in the depth there and the infrastructure expertise, partners with our pension funds, who are the largest and most sophisticated infrastructure amongst, I'll be Canadian, I'll say amongst the most sophisticated. They are the most sophisticated institutional investors in infrastructure. Two-way and good partners into Canada, but great partners here in ASEAN for committed longer-term capital. Now I'm going to do a bit of a side point, but just to emphasize when I say on scale of our ambitions. Sometimes you have policy and then you have personnel. Personnel is often policy. My chief of staff came here to the government from running our largest law firm and then being the number 2 at the Caisse de dépôt, which is one of those largest pension funds. The head of the civil service, who we just brought in, was CEO of our largest telecom, CFO of our largest railway, CEO for 10 years of our largest pension fund, and then our largest utility. So, a real business person who's come in to run the civil service to orient. That way, my Minister of Natural Resources, 30 years on Wall Street, Bay Street, financing infrastructure. Our Minister of International Trade, Manny Sidhu. I can't say 30 years because you are older than 30, right, Manny? But you are, no. Trade lawyer expertise prior to stepping up and running and serving the people of Canada. Our special envoy, Ian MacKay, out of Tokyo, deep business experience, including surviving 9 years working with Howard Lutnick. This guy is tough. This guy is tough, I can assure you. And I have some background in the private sector. We know how business works. We've worked in and around it. We know how to structure finance. We know how to move quickly. And we will do all of those things to help deliver on the scale. It was referenced, Wayne, thank you for referencing it. The Indonesia free trade agreement was done quite quickly. We pushed it over when we came into government. We've just announced that intention to finish the ASEAN free trade agreement, which has been carefully negotiated for 4 years, which is going to be completed next year. But a similar timeline for a free trade agreement with the Philippines. And then we are working, as I alluded to those of you who came to the Fireside chat, on a much more ambitious docking of CPTPP to the EU, which Canada can do because we're in both, and therefore we're an honest broker across both. But that just gives you a sense of where we are. I want to finish. You want me to finish, and I will finish. I want to finish back in on the reliable partner and values, because as I said on the stage, you need a partner who respects the letter of agreements. We are that partner, but also the spirit of agreements and the values underneath those agreements. And we do believe in rules-based law. We believe in the values of sustainability, inclusivity, solidarity, partnership. But I am going to quote, and I tested our ambassador to ASEAN earlier, and she's going to sing along, the words from the ASEAN anthem, which I know you all know, but just in case I didn't actually this morning. But two of the key lines that stuck with me is that in ASEAN, we dare to dream and we care to share. And so Canada dares to dream big. We have laid out, we're laying out $1 trillion of investment opportunities over the course of the next decade, U.S. And we dare to care. Sustainability, inclusivity, and in partnership. The ASEAN anthem, everyone after me. Later on, after this reception, there'll be a short karaoke where we'll have a chance to sing it together. But thank you for being here, and we look forward to the partnership and to showing up.